Welcome to Words from the Orange Sofa, and we are already in week 30 of the devotionals from this book, A Fruit in Season. And the title of today's teaching is The Goal of Intimacy. Intimacy. Getting close enough to someone to understand their inner longings. And you see, Jesus was at a well one day, and he was thirsty. And he said to a Samaritan woman, "Give me a drink." And she understood his inner thirst. There was an intimacy. And hundreds of years before that, King David was also at a well. And we can read in 1 Chronicles 11:17, David longed for water and said, "Oh, that someone would get me a drink of water from the well near the gate of Bethlehem." And you see, Bethlehem at that time was occupied by the enemy. The place of promise, the place of future birth was occupied by the enemy. And so what happened? Some of David's key men were so sensitive to the king's heart that they broke through and they recognized David's thirst. Now, what was that thirst? He was thirsty to drink water from the wells of occupied lands. It was a missionary longing. And just as Jesus was thirsty to see the Samaritan saved, and God is thirsty. He wants to see the living waters of life springing up in the Muslim lands, in the Hindu lands, in the Buddhist lands, in the towns and villages where you live. And you see, there were three mighty men who understood that longing, just as the Samaritan woman understood the longing of Jesus. And so what happened? It says here, the three broke through the Philistine lines, drew water from the well near the gate of Bethlehem, and carried it back to David. True intimacy leads to breakthrough. And the Samaritan woman, she broke through in evangelizing her village. Will your intimacy with Jesus leads to breakthrough? True intimacy inspires courageous action. You know, superficial intimacy lacks missionary passion. And true intimacy leads to personal sacrifice and risk. 1 Chronicles 11:19, because they risked their lives to bring it back. What are you willing to risk because of your intimacy with Christ? And then true intimacy leads to poured out worship. 1 Chronicles 11:18. But he refused to drink it. Instead, he poured it out before the Lord. You know, at the well, Jesus said to the woman, you know, true worshippers, they worship in spirit and truth. And the missionary passion of intimacy will lead us to worship. You know, no prominent heroes here, only prostrate worshippers. The goal of intimacy is to overhear the longings of Jesus, to drink from occupied lands. Intimacy will give us a missionary heart, willing to take risks to satisfy the thirst of our King Jesus. But Jesus also longs to drink from your own heart. Is your heart occupied by sin or something else? And he wants breakthrough here. He wants breakthrough. And he said, if anyone is thirsty, let him come to me and drink. Whoever believes in me, as the scripture has said, streams of living water will flow from within him. John 7:37-38. May new streams of worship and love pour forth from you this week to satisfy the thirst of your King Jesus. Enjoy your intimacy and take your territory. Okay, things to do. Well, obviously read 1 Chronicles 11, 16 to 20. And following on from last week's prayer to be light, think about any occupied lands that needs taking back for the King. Go to a quiet place and try to hear the longings of Jesus for specific areas around you. They might be specific towns or villages, people, family members, or even areas, or especially areas of your own heart that need conquering for Christ. Now ask, is my relationship with you, Jesus, producing missionary endeavour in my life? Now receive the longing of Christ in your heart to drink from occupied areas. Receive boldness to act and take risks, and receive fresh streams of love and worship. Envision now the church's worship leading to an increased involvement with global mission. Now pray. Dear Lord, let me overhear your longings for a lost world. Amen. Okay, thank you for watching this video again. And you can always subscribe to my channel by clicking on the Preacher 7 icon. And I will see you next week. Bye-bye.